Hello, hello. How are you? Mwah.
Ready?
Let's go.
Ready to go?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Right, Chef John. Are you ready?
Bring it on.
Okay, we're waiting for you to remove your shirt.
Rated-
Kala mo
rated
hindi
G,
ko
rated
sasabihin.
G,
Okay,
rated
of course,
G,
of course,
rated
of
G.
course. No, just kidding. But listen, you have done so many things in the last couple of years. Very controversial in your field, right?
Yes.
Can I ask you the tough questions today?
I'm an open book.
I'll ask you the tough questions, right? Yeah, of course. I mean, how can we not mention about Cuisinero Uno, right? Spectacular opening and all that. And then it came crashing down. I know it's hard to say that, and
Yes.
you know, us being your friends also, it's very, very difficult to say that, but you've been able to recover. And now you're the cluster executive chef of the Canopy, the Hilton Group, right?
Yes, yes.
So how do you go from that situation to this
here.
situation?
Okay, so let's start. So Cuisinero Uno was a passion project, number one. A lot of people really supported. A lot of people really helped. A lot of people pretended to help. And a lot of people also backed out.
I'll go back to that later on.
I know. But anyway, regardless whatever happened to Cuisinero Uno, I don't think that it's a failure. I think now that where I am right now, I think it's actually, I see it as a blessing because I wouldn't be where I am right now if that didn't happen. And because of that restaurant also, it opened a lot of doors and Dubai could see what we could do.
And I think to be fair also in the life of a young chef, there are so many ups and downs. I mean,
So
look at
much.
what happened to Jamie Oliver,
Yes.
right? And his empire, right? And that is Jamie Oliver already. So it's not an easy thing, but how do you keep yourself whole in this process? How did you not lose hope? Because I'm sure it would have been very, very tough. That was a passion project. It's your own brand. How did you keep yourself intact this whole time?
Okay, all right. When the restaurant closed, that was the hardest time of my life. Everything came crashing down. You know, friends who you thought were friends left. People who supported when Sheikh Hamdan, His Highness, came to the restaurant. Everybody was my best friend.
Yes,
When
I know,
it closed
I know.
down, no one was my friend. Nobody wanted.
Well, we were
to-
your friends.
Yes, of course, of course. Illustrado was always there supporting
Yeah.
me. And a few certain people were really there beside me. Really, really good people.
Yeah.
Right? Not mentioning names. However, how did I pull through it? You just have to go trust yourself. No one else will do it for you. Of course, family is very important.
How
of
bad
course.
was it? How tough was it
really
for
bad.
you?
It was really bad. It even came to, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, it even came to a point of life and death situation.
Okay,
It
all
came to-
right.
I'm a bit brave to say it now.
Okay.
I've overcome
Because
that
you've
situation.
overcome it,
I've
yeah.
overcome it, right? And but you know, I'm happy that nothing bad happened. And through that experience, I was able to pull myself out of it. And then now I'm back on my feet. And I'm telling everyone, not just the people who was part of that project, but to the whole world, like, look at me, I'm back. Watch what I'm gonna do next. So,
Now it's part of your battle scars, right?
yes, yes.
And
it's still here.
Yeah,
It's still
there you
here.
go. I mean, I think it's true what people say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. It sounds like a
Definitely.
cliche, but that is the truth, right? And I think for us, you know, especially in Illustrado, we wanted to make a point because people would ask, okay, Cuisinero failed, or that's what they would say. Cuisinero failed because it had to close down. So why is chef still in the list, right? There would be those questions. But for us, what we want to recognize is that you keep coming back. No matter how hard you get knocked down on life, you still keep coming back, and you come back with flying colors. You know, it's just like the phoenix rising from the ashes, as I said before.
Actually, when the restaurant closed, like what I said, like a lot of people, again, I'm not going to mention any names or whatever. A lot of people actually
Mention mo na.
No, hindi pwede, diba?
Just kidding.
Siyempre, medyo ano tayo, controversial. So a lot of people actually were happy that it closed, maybe out of jealousy, maybe of whatever reason. But I cannot bombard myself and torture myself with what other people think.
Of course.
A lot of people think that there was some stupid stuff that has been happening, some monkey business, whatever. But honest to goodness, all the people who were stuck beside me through the good times and the bad times really saw what we really done.
Definitely.
I mean,
any business is a risk.
True, and
Anyway.
I would pull myself up also. I mean, have you ever seen any restaurant that the Royal Highness actually visited? No one. We haven't even.
It's a
invited
source
them.
of pride for
It's a
the
source of pride.
Filipino community,
And
right?
it was a good thing. We didn't pay for any marketing. We didn't pay for it, and it just because of plainly the core value of the business, which is the food.
Yeah.
Our leaders came to the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And it's a bit of it's sad that it closed down, but I told myself I need to open that again, regardless whatever happens.
So it's going to happen in the future.
It's going to happen again. It's going to happen
It's
again.
gonna happen
And,
again.
this is what I said from the time that it opened, the time that it closed, and I will still say it again. It will happen again.
This is
in
what
Dubai.
I wanted to know. So you came from there, you had a fall, you rose back stronger than ever. What's the secret? How do you get all this? How did you come? I mean, what equipped you to go this far? Because it's not every day that we can say that there's another Filipino cluster executive chef for a big hotel chain. I mean, this is not something that's typical even in your field.
Yes.
You know, there aren't a lot of chefs who reach your level. What's the secret? What did you do? How did you manage to succeed like that?
There's no secret. I think it's just that maybe the years of experience, the years of working in hotels in reputable brands in Atlantis, in Monte Carlo. I mean, what I'm doing now, again, I don't want to sound arrogant or whatever, but what I'm doing now is easier running 3 hotels rather than running 1 restaurant. Because this one, I have a support of a global brand, which is they're really taking care of me. I have the support of the marketing team, the engineering team, HR, PRO, so I solely have to focus on the food and beverage operations, right? So it's easy. But running your own restaurant is a totally different ballgame. You know, you're HR, you are PRO, sometimes you're a guidance counselor, and you know, you're everything. So what do I have that to make me push that? To be honest, I really don't know.
I mean, we see something in you that we didn't see in others. Charisma.
Oh, okay. The way
Is that intentional? I mean, did you craft this brand? This is me, Chef John, and this is my personality, because you're a brand.
Yes.
You are a brand. That's the way we see you, and that makes you different from other people who are just cooking in the kitchen or training other chefs, you know? Because I think in your line of work, charisma helps a lot, right?
It helps a lot. It's not like before, chefs who cook good really go well out there and they become really successful. However, nowadays, especially
we are in the generation of celebrity
social
chefs.
media
Exactly.
and all of these things. But see, a lot of chefs as well are pretending to be chefs. I am not afraid to bash them. I don't care.
All right.
But don't pretend to be a chef if you really don't know how to cook. I mean, just because you look good on TV and everything doesn't make you a successful chef.
How do you manage this then? How do you manage? Like I said earlier, or like I was asking earlier, was this intentional? I know that you had the backing of, you know, you had public relations working for you before. Is this something intentional, or this is just?
This is me. I mean, I don't.
This is my essence.
I don't pretend anything. I mean, what you see is what you get, right? I like talking to people.
Yeah.
I think I can be really good in the PR field, I think, but I just really like to talk, and especially when I explain something that I do, especially with cooking, it really comes out and people see it and they feel that energy and that vibe whenever we do it.
I mean, a lot of people love you. A lot of girls love you. We're gonna delve into that later on, but before we go to the people who love you, what about your haters? How do you deal with them?
Well, I love the haters, actually.
Why do you love the haters?
It's because of the haters why I'm still here. Actually, I love them more than the people who love me.
Please explain.
Because, you know, when people hate you, it means that they're pissed off because you're doing something. If you don't have haters, then you don't have likers or lovers or whatever, right?
I guess nobody
your life
loves
becomes stagnant.
Nobody's paying attention.
Yeah, and that's
right?
the beauty of life, right? If they get upset, I'm sorry if you get upset, but this is me, and if you don't like it, then stop watching my feed. Stop stalking me on Instagram.
Do you actually deal with them? Would you Would you have a conversation
I
or
don't
no? Mm-hmm.
entertain. Again, I don't want to sound again like arrogant or whatever, because I've been through a lot in life.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever other people think or whatever, I mean, they're free to think what they want to think. I'm just doing my thing.
Okay.
But I don't delve and deep dive into these kind of situations, get into arguments and stuff. I just try to move myself out from negativity. But even if people who don't like what I do, whatever, if they come for help, I would help. No worries at all. I mean, it is what it is, right? I mean, it is the mark that we've set in Dubai, and I will still continue. And if they still continue to hate me, they can still
definitely. I mean, going back to the time where you were lost out there and you were feeling down, what was the one thing that got you back up? If you can identify, was there an incident? Was there somebody? I mean, how did you get back up? What was it?
You want me to be simply? It was a glass of Jack Daniels, actually, and prayer.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
It was a full glass of Jack Daniels. I just downed it, and then it was that moment that it was really, really bad. But for some reason, one instant, I had a short prayer, and it stopped everything.
Really?
The thing is, I have maybe a weakness that I care so much about what other people think about me and what other people say about me. But realistically, you can't really control what they do and what they think, right? So just do what you do, and then if people try to harm you or to do anything, then you can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
Let them do it, and you just defend yourself, and that's about it, right?
And I guess that's part of the growth process, right?
Yeah.
That's part of maturing into the roles that you have.
And what I do is I just focus back on what I do best, and that's cooking. And everything just falls through. That's why I was able to go back up. It's because of the food that I do.
What's the recipe for success that you can tell young aspiring chefs out there? What do they have to do to be successful in your field?
You just really need to go through with it, right? I mean, persistence, dedication, a lot of time. If you really want to be a successful chef, you need to do the time and put the effort and patience to actually perfect your craft, right?
So of course, there's no way around it, right?
Or being an entrepreneur, it's you gotta risk it to get the biscuit. I learned it from one of my
Risk
really
it
good
to get
friends.
the biscuit.
Risk it to get the biscuit.
Okay.
Right? And if
what about the charisma part, the personality part, the brand
personality
part?
you can't teach. Personality is in you, right? So it's that makes you unique, right? It's same like, for example, when I cook a dish and I make it and someone else does it with the same recipe, it's not gonna taste the same because there's that energy. A part of us chefs, whenever we cook something, we this is no bullshit. We put a lot of love on what we do, and a part of us actually goes into the food. So when guests eat it, there's like an energy transferred to the stuff that we do. So that's why you think it's really nice and it's amazing. Right?
How do you, I mean, your schedule must be grueling. I mean, I can't imagine all the chefs we know. I mean, what kind of hours do you keep right now?
So we do breakfast service. So I do sometimes 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning.
And you have to be there.
I have to be there.
Okay.
You know, the normal hotel industry, you know, make sure everybody's happy. So that's from 8 o'clock till 11 o'clock, and then you go for your 1 hour sit down on your computer, do your emails, and after that lunch service starts. You have to check all the 3 hotels, so that's like six different restaurants that you have to check.
Really?
Yes.
You have to go to all 3 hotels?
Every single day. I have to check all the breakfast buffets.
Goodness. Okay.
And after that, you go back for your afternoon break, which is actually answering a lot of emails, and then you have trainings, and then you have the morning briefings with the general manager. And in the evening, dinner service kicks in. So of course you have to visit again, and then a few occasions some of your chefs are like crying because it's long hours. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work,
what time
right?
do you finish every night?
Sometimes like 9, 10. It depends. It depends on the days. When you get a few hours, you try to go home a bit early, but usually it doesn't happen.
And you go home?
Yes.
Do you do anything else apart from?
I wish.
Really, there's no time, right?
Yeah, especially right now, we've been through a lot of transitions, so it's a whole lot of overhaul. It's a bit challenging right now in the hotel industry, but thankfully in Alsif we're really doing quite well.
Okay.
So it's a good thing.
What about love?
Well, I love my job so much. You know, it's
I'm not talking about your job. What about love, chef? Is there time for love?
There's always time for love.
There's always time for love?
It's just that right now, I think...
How many loves are we talking about here?
It's just now, Lalaine, you know, we're focusing. I'm focusing on what I need to do first.
Okay.
Okay, realistic answer is, I think there's just a lot of open pages in my life that I need to close first, open books in my life that I need to close first before I actually delve into a new chapter.
So you don't have a relationship right now, do you?
Well, I have a relationship with my job. I'm there every single time.
What kind of safe answer is
14
this?
hours
What kind
a
of
day,
safe
whatever.
answer is this? Do you have a relationship right now? I won't stop asking until you give me a straight answer.
Let's just say that I'm.
You're sweating?
No, I'm not. I'm not sweating.
Let's just say what?
Let's just say that there's someone. There's someone.
There's someone.
There's someone.
Okay, please describe this someone.
There's someone. She likes
Really?
to eat. She likes to eat. She likes
Really?
to eat. Yeah.
Are you telling us that all your fans out there, they don't have a chance anymore? Because we had people whispering in our ears during
Nobody
our
cooks
last
for me.
party
I'm waiting
for
for
the
someone
300.
who could really cook for me.
I know you were talking about pancit canton,
No,
right?
really.
No? You've
Now
evolved?
now it's like I said it before. I think Shake Shacks or McDonald's. You know.
Really?
I think you asked before what I will tell you now. My guilty pleasure: junk food.
What kind of junk food?
It can be Shake Shack. It can
Really?
Be, yeah.
You have to be very specific. Okay, let me ask you a question. You obviously we're talking about food. If you were a sauce, what kind of sauce would you be?
If I was a sauce.
If you were a sauce, what kind of sauce would you be?
It would have to be maybe some type of maybe like a sweet Asian kind of like sauce with a bit of smoky flavor.
With a bit of smoky flavor.
Something sweet, salty, sour, and spicy.
Wow, very complex.
Complex. You know?
Very complex.
But once you get a taste of it, you just keep on coming back and
Really?
just like
Really?
once more.
Really? I can't stop laughing. You're a funny guy. Okay.
So, yeah.
Who is the John that nobody knows? Who's this John away from being a chef when you're all alone at home?
I'm very artistic. I do a lot of artwork. Also, I do.
When artistic, you mean I know that you painted your graffiti wall.
I do
before.
a lot of that. Are you talking about a bit more personal of who I am?
Yeah, personal. Who
Okay,
are
no,
you?
I'm a very sensitive person. I'm a very emotional person. And I like the outdoors so much.
Really?
So much. Yeah. So if I get time, I'd go to Ras Al Khaimah and just chill out there. I like simple stuff. I think my life is just surrounded with a lot of complications and a lot of let's say like hotels and media and work and all that stuff that sometimes you just want to take a step back and just chill out. And yeah.
So you chill out in nature?
In nature, yeah. With nothing, no phones, nothing, just like purely my barbecue grill,
Really?
my lamb chops, and I just like a salad and I bring it in. And
So that's your joy, right?
That's my joy.
What's your joy? What
And
is
sleep.
and sleep?
Sleep is something that I would treasure and I would pay for a good sleep. Yes.
What's the one thing that a person can do to you that would really kill your friendship or whatever relationship that is?
Loyalty is very important for me. Just because of my experiences, right? It's just that if I would rather have a person who's upfront telling me that I don't like you because this. So I know that you don't like me. So at least I know where you stand. Not somebody who would be nice in front of me, and then when you turn your back, it's a totally different story. And then you hear it from someone else. I don't like it. I prefer honesty, like the hard truth, than sugar-coated things. And yeah.
What kind of friend are you? If you had the time to be a friend to somebody.
I have this sickness called I will reply when I have time syndrome.
Okay.
I have that.
All right.
But it doesn't mean that I don't value our friendship.
I can totally imagine. I think I'm the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of friends who I have very, very small group of really close friends who understands me and who knows me. But
Who are not so needy, I guess.
I'm a loyal friend. I'm a loyal friend, and then I would stick by you, or whatever in whatever circumstance. Yeah.
A lot of people are asking about this also. What's the one thing that a girl can do for you that would really make you happy?
Would really make me happy.
That would make you smile over the moon. What's the one thing?
I don't know if she could handle the time frame, the schedule that I have, and my rants, and because the thing is with me, I think I am a bit I think I get my brain just works 24/7. That I start a lot of things all at the same time.
Oh my goodness, are you like that at home also?
Yeah.
You're thinking about work?
Not really about work, but the thing is, with my work, I don't see it as work. I enjoy it so much. That's why I dedicate so much time into it, right? Right now in my life, my career is the only thing that makes me happy for now, right? And I'm focusing on that. And then eventually when that materializes, then eventually I can move on to other aspects in life. I cannot start everything. And like what I said, yeah. So I think if I don't know if I really don't know what would make me smile, but what makes me happy if I cook something for someone and I can genuinely see they enjoy it, it just makes me totally happy.
Really?
Yeah.
Dakila ka talaga, chef. I mean, what's the plan in the future? I know that you're in a very good place right now. What's out there?
Well, I'm really looking at starting a venture again, right? But again, regardless, I'm not gonna go into details into that. But definitely, I need to put that flag back up again. I don't think it's fair what happened to me and to our partners. It's just that it's the market happened and it's no one's fault. Nobody wanted it. I think I have to do that. But for the meantime, I'm just really getting my confidence back, my mojo back again in the mood, and getting a bit more, let's say, influential in terms of the food scene, because now I'm competing with international chefs, you know, like Italians, French, and everything. I've been into 2 international cookbooks right now. That was after the closure of the restaurant, but we need to open that back up again to give justice to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm also looking at opportunities with the Hilton Group, maybe, hopefully, maybe regional role or whatever. But let's see. But right now, what really makes me happy, the thing is, once you get a feel of being an entrepreneur, you can't get rid of it anymore. You've
like
got
a
the
bug,
taste
isn't
of
it?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if sometimes it's not financially rewarding as working, it's still different. The joy that it brings to you, it's different. The harder you work, the more you earn, right?
Definitely, yeah.
But yeah, it needs to be done properly and with calculated risks.
If there's a couple of things that you can mention, what are the things that you will never do again? The things that you regret?
I
Or
don't
the
regret.
things that you will stay away from the next time you have a venture on your own?
I think number one is due diligence, more than anything else. Due diligence, and maybe partnering with the right people. If you would need to partner, it needs to be a partner through thick and thin. It's a marriage, you know. Through good times and bad times, we need to be together. And when we fight, you don't put me down and you don't curse me. You help me stand back up, so both of us could be better. And that's it. It's not what else? And maybe you just have to. It's not all about passion. It has to be also. The thing is, sometimes when we start a project, we get so into it and we get so passionate about it that we get too emotionally attached to it. And when something goes wrong, you take everything personally. I think we need to put a barrier to that, a bit of a gray line on it, and just focus on that.
So you still have some space to disengage yourself from time to time, right?
Because what happened to me, I got so involved with the place, and I loved that place, and I've never loved anything in my life like that. I know it's a material thing, but for me, it's I poured everything in that place. You know,
I know.
From the opening to the closing, they closed when did they close it? I think it was a couple of months after my birthday. Nobody knows it. I was alone in the restaurant. No one was there. I was holding the bar in the door, and security was pulling me out of the restaurant.
Oh my goodness.
It was really bad. It was really bad.
I see a movie happening there.
Yeah, it was. But
even a glass of Jack Daniels.
Well, didn't have a Jack Daniels, but the landlords were there and everything, and I felt so small. I felt so bad for myself, and on top of that, other people were still cursing you and putting you down, and it was a really bad experience. But like what I said, there's no point of fighting them back. There's no point of doing that. What I'm gonna do now is to stand back up, start something again, and invite them. Like, see, I told you we're here, and we're getting better.
But I guess when you get knocked down like that, you become even more hungry.
Yeah.
You know, to rise up again, right?
But sometimes you get that feeling of having vengeance and revenge, but it's not a good trait to have. It's more of like, you don't have to prove them. You have to prove yourself, because I felt that I was a failure, and it was really bad. Once you have self-doubt and you feel bad about yourself, it's just all gonna go downhill, and you just have to pull that strength somewhere else to stand up and then keep on pushing, and you get where you are right now as the cluster executive chef of Hilton.
Last question. 3 words,
Yeah.
3 pieces of advice, just very quickly for Filipinos who are aspiring to succeed in your field.
Cooking is not everything. You have to talk.
Yeah.
Realistically, you have to bring yourself up. Stop that. Kasi yung iba nahihiya, diba?
Yeah.
Parang I'm shy. Parang when another chef of different race comes up, they feel like you know I'm on the side. No, I mean just show yourself, show what you know. But the thing is, sometimes our egos get ahead of us, and sometimes see other chefs of other nationalities. They have really proper culinary education, and sometimes we as experienced chefs, we just learn through experience, but it's not. When you go through proper culinary education, you know the basics, and sometimes we get so arrogant that we think our food tastes good, but actually it doesn't. On international standards, it doesn't. That's why this is it's an ongoing battle. Like, why is it that Filipino cuisine is not yet out there? Because we do not want to open our minds to new techniques that will actually be acceptable to the expat community or the international market. That's why when we did this elevated Filipino cuisine dinner, we've opened the minds of everybody, right? So, for example, like. It's not about making Filipino cuisine. It's all about making them taste the Philippines, because I think we don't have.
There's so many
cuisine,
ways of
right?
defining
so
that.
instead of like making adobo and there's gonna be 100 bashers saying, oh, this is not adobo, whatever. Then create your own cuisine using products from the Philippines, like kamyas, mangoes, mangosteen, or whatever. And then you do something totally different. Then nobody could judge you.
Yeah.
This is my cuisine. This is my Filipino cuisine, and
that's true. And I guess just picking up from what you were saying earlier, unless you compare yourself with the other global players, how do you know where you stand, right? You have to open yourself up to the world.
But
right?
I think also a downfall on that, if you compare yourself with other people, it also doesn't do justice, because then you're going to be looking at another person's plate. So just focus on what you do best, and that's it. And let your food speak for itself.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to seeing more of you. Are you vain?
No.
Biglang ganon, no? It's just like
but vain in what
way?
Are
you vain?
Vain can be in a lot of.
Do you look at the mirror all the time, no, really? I'm just pulling your leg.
Well, everybody has a bit of vainness in them, right?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But you have a girlfriend.
I'm married to my job.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll accept that. And we wish you well. I have to. I had to try.
Yeah. Of course.
Good escape though. But we wish you very well in your job, and we want to hear more of your successes in the future, right?
We'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. And I think Dubai is a good point for ups and downs, and then definitely we're gonna stand back.
And thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
What kind of ulam are you?
What kind of ulam? Sisig with a lot of chilies.
With a lot of chili. How much chili are we talking about?
Depends. No, I can adjust. It can be really spicy, it can be less spicy, but it depends on your preference. I adjust on your preference.
So something to remember, sisig.
Yeah.
Super.
I didn't even think about sisig anyway.
Thank you so much.
I'm craving for it right now.
Thank you. Now I'm hungry. Let's go. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks.